So hi all, welcome to another video lecture. In this video lecture we will see what is the difference between related function and related table function in DAX. So in Power BI, DAX provides powerful functions to work with data relationships. Two commonly used functions we have is related and related tables. Both work with relationships but serve different purposes. So what is related? It returns a single value from a related table. It is used when there is a many to one relationship from a current table to another. So this is the basic syntax related, and then we specify the column name. Okay. So in Excel, right, we are familiar with the lookup function, right? What does the lookup function do? It really looks the value from a particular column, and then it searches in that particular value in a table, and then it populates the value in that respective table, right? So related functions we use in the many side of the fact table, right? It's used in the many side of the table. So if in relationships, what happened, right, in Power BI, we create relationship between the dimension table and the fact table, right? Dimension table, they generally represent the one side, and fact table, they represents the many side. So related function is used in the many side of the table, where we use to search for a particular value from the one side, and then we populate it into the many side, right? It's just like a lookup function in Excel. So let's look at a use case. Scenario is you have a sales table with product ID and a product table with product name. We can use the related to function to bring the product name into the sales table. One product can have many sales, but each sale is for one product. So the result is that a column in sales now shows product name using related. Okay. So, and we will see this through a practical example. Okay. What is related table? It returns a table of values related to the current row context. So related table, it returns a table. It does not return a scalar value. It returns a table. Okay. So generally we use the iterator functions, okay, to get a particular scalar value from a tabular value, right? So related table, it will give me a table. In argument also, it is accepting a table name. Okay. So it will relate. What related table will do? It will simply fetch all the data, right, from that particular table, and it will provide to us. Now from that particular table, what exactly we need, we can use that particular information with the help of the iterator function and get to a scalar value, right? So we can use count rows function to get the count of a particular table, right? And this is one of the use case of related table. We have a product table and we want to count how many sales each product has. So we use related tables to get get all sales related to a product, and then we aggregate using the count rows or sum. Okay, so this is the particular result. A column in product shows total sales per product using the sales count. So count of rows, related table of sales. So this is the summary. We use related when we want a value from the parent table. We use related table when you want to access multiple rows in the child table. Okay. So one big advantage of related table is that we can use it in the one side of the table as well. Okay. Related we can only use in the many side of the table, and we can look up that particular value from the one side of the table, but related table we can use it in the one side of the table as well. Okay, so we understand the relationship direction in your model to use them correctly. Okay, so let us go to Power BI and let's see this in practical. So if we go to the tabular view, right, we have two tables, that is the Walmart sales table, and one is this particular table in which we have the store ID and the column temp, which is mentioned over here. Okay, so in the Walmart sales, right, we have the respective store IDs, and for that we have the weekly sales which is present, right? What I really want is that I want to display this particular column temp values for the respective store IDs present in the Walmart sales table. Okay, if I go to the model view, I can see that they have a relationship which is already established, and if I hover on this relationship, it is between the store IDs. Okay, so this star represents that this Walmart sales table is the fact table, that is the many side of the table, and one represents that this table is the dimension table, okay, which is the one side of the table. So it simply means that if we go ahead and hover it, right, we can see that the store ID of this table is connected with the store ID of the Walmart table, right? So the store ID present in the table has unique values, and the store ID present in this Walmart table is a foreign key which has many values. Okay, so if I go to the table view, okay, I want to get the column temp value for the respective store IDs in the Walmart sales table. So how can I do it? I can simply go ahead and click on new column. Okay, and here what I will do, here I will use the related function. Related function simply works like lookup, right? So I am telling this particular model, right, this particular function, that I need to go ahead and look up for the value and give me the column temp value from the table, right? So how it is going to look, how it's going to look for the column temp, how it's going to know. So it decides on the basis of how you have created the relationship. If you have created the relationship on the basis of store ID, then it will look for the store ID. If you have some other variable which is present over here in the table, right, if you want to connect it to the your dimension table using that, then according to that particular value, it will start looking the value for the values that you really want to populate. So I want to populate the value of the column temp, so it will start looking for column temp on the basis of the store ID. Okay, because on the basis of store ID only we have created the relationship, right? So let us go ahead and let us hit on commit, and you will see that for 2 the value 2002 has been populated, right? If I go to the table, you see for value 2 2002 is populated. So this is the function of the related function. Okay, now what is the function of related table, right? Related tables, we can use it in the one side of the table as well, right? So it returns me a table value. So now what I really want is that in the one side of the table, in this side of the table, right, I want to display the sum of the sales, sum of the weekly sales for every store, right? So if you go to the Walmart sales, right, for store number 2 we have all these weekly sales, right? I want to club them, sum them together, and want to show it as an aggregated sum for this particular store ID. So how can I do that, right? Let me go ahead and create a new column, and in this new column what I will do, I will go ahead and I will type related table. Related table, which table I want to relate it with? The Walmart sales table. If I go ahead and if I hit on enter, it will give me an error, right? The reason why it is giving me an error, because it accepts a scalar value, but the return is a table, right? So I will use the iterator function. What function I will use? I will use the sumx function to get the sum of all the weekly sales, comma, now the expression, which particular value do you really want to sum, right? So that would be the weekly sales. Now if I hit on enter, you see I have got the particular weekly sales, the sum of the weekly sales for every store ID, if you can just see, right? So this is the basic function of related table, basic difference between related table and the related function. Okay, you can also use this in measures as well, okay, but for the sake of showing you the difference between related and related table, I have given you this particular example. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed this video, and I hope you have learned something new. If you really like this video, then please don't forget to share and subscribe my channel, and please don't forget to press the bell icon for notification. Thank you.